I've been holding Tesla stock since 2012, and the biggest things that drew me to the company were the product, the car, the company's mission, and Elon's vision for the company, his long-term vision for what Tesla could become and why Tesla is important. And for the last 10 years, my conviction was so damn high that I ended up working for the damn company because I wanted to be there so badly, and I had the pleasure to do it for 4 years. And now that I've become financially independent and I can actually sit down and think about, okay, what are the true things that will cause me to sell Tesla stock? I've only been able to come up with one specific example. And there's a potential that that one thing could happen this year. And that is the CEO compensation plan that Elon has at Tesla today. For those that aren't familiar, back in 2018, Tesla put together a compensation plan for Elon that was 100% of his pay. And the best thing about that package is that it was 100% based on long-term goals. There were no salaries, no short-term bonuses, nothing of the like. It was designed under a 10-year plan with long-term goals for the company. And Elon would only get paid if he were to hit those long-term goals. And for Elon to receive the maximum amount of compensation, Tesla's market cap would have to reach at least $650 billion and a varying set of milestones that were divided into 8 segments each. And those goals are reaching $175 billion in revenue or $14 billion in EBITDA or EBITDA. If you're not familiar with the term EBITDA or EBITDA, it essentially stands for the profitability of the company. How much money is the company making? Now, the most interesting thing about this compensation plan is that it was drafted no more than 4 years ago with the outlook of it being completed in 10 years. And it just so happens that this year in 2022, it's very likely that Elon and Tesla will achieve every single one of the components of this plan. And so if that were to happen, Tesla will have to draft a brand new compensation package for Elon because he doesn't get paid. Otherwise, he wouldn't get paid while he works at Tesla. And even though Elon has said he doesn't do this for the money, he doesn't work for the money, it would be so silly for Tesla not to pay him for his time, which is obviously extremely valuable. And Elon having capital and having cash and having shares and value is great for society. So Tesla is obviously going to have to come up with a compensation package for him. Now, there's 2 things that come to mind thinking about the new compensation plan that's going to be released. One, is Elon going to continue being the CEO? And 2, what is the compensation package actually going to be? Now, as far as Elon leaving, I really think that's extremely unlikely. I don't see him leaving anytime soon. There's way too many exciting things going on at the company. And I think Elon wants to be around and wants to lead that charge. That could obviously change at some point in the future, but for the foreseeable future, I don't see that happening. So whatever compensation plan Tesla comes out with, I'm sure will be tailored to Elon. And I've really spent a lot of time thinking about this. It's like, okay, if Elon were to leave, would I really sell my shares? And that doesn't automatically mean that I'm going to sell my shares. I think the bigger question is going to be who would step into that role? But more importantly, how is the compensation package going to be designed so that future growth is the priority of the compensation package? And that is the trigger that I am personally looking for. Regardless of who the CEO is or who the leader is, if the compensation package is not built for long-term goals and instead is focused on short-term goals like year-over-year goals, that to me is a huge red flag. What that tells me is that the company has shifted its focus from its grandiose, really long-term potential of growing to 20 million cars per year and dominating the EV industry and dominating the battery business and the solar industries and the AI industries and the bot industry, whatever else, that they've shifted their focus away from that long-term vision. And instead, they're focused into, okay, how much money can we make next year? That is a recipe for disaster for companies that want to achieve a long-term innovation and long-term growth. What ends up happening under those situations is that leadership become very complacent about what they have to do in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, and instead they focus on really maximizing the profitability of the company now. And the easiest way to do that, the most efficient way to do that usually is by cutting costs or by removing things that are unprofitable at that time. But the thing there is that things that are going to make a huge impact 5 years, 10 years time from now are all going to be unprofitable today, right now. All those things are going to be worked on and they're not going to be making a lot of money for the company. Take Tesla as an example from the years 2012 to 2019. The thing that everybody always harped on the company is like, you're not making any money, you're not profitable, you're losing money on every car that you sell. But if you look back from 2012 to now, what ended up happening is that they set this massive foundation for the company to grow on, and now they're worth nearly $1 trillion. And so it's very important for Tesla and the leadership group there to continue that mantra, to continue that focus. long-term goals, especially at the highest levels of the company, at the CEO level and wherever else in that leadership group. Long-term goals are the things that are going to allow the company to build the foundation necessary to get to the next stages of value for the world, for the employees, and also for the investors. And so that one thing that I'm going to be looking for either this year or next year, once these goals are very likely hit, is to see how long the compensation package is going to be built into the future. The shorter that time window, the more it's going to tell me that the focus of the company has shifted away from long-term focus to shorter-term focus. And obviously, I don't want you to take my advice purely on when you should sell your shares. These are the things that are important to me. I am not an investment advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. Only you can do that research for yourself. All I want to do is just share how I'm thinking about the problem in case that might interest you or in case that might spark something in your brain that might lead you to do more research somewhere. Now, do I think Tesla's going to come out with a short-term package? I really, really don't think so. I think the leadership group there is all very, very future-focused. Elon himself is one of the biggest visionaries and most important visionaries of our lifetime, and he's always thinking 10, 20 years ahead. And so if he's going to continue being the CEO, which I'm 99.999% sure he's going to be, he's going to want to have an incentive structure that incentivizes him to work the way that he works, which is a long-term focus. And so under that scenario, as long as Elon is the CEO of the company, I do not see the structure of compensation packages changing. But once the day comes that Elon chooses to step away from Tesla, I'm sure that he'll find the right leader in place, but that compensation package is going to be so important in defining what the future of the company is going to be. And as long as that plan goes 10 years into the future and it's very forward-looking, it's extremely unlikely that I'm going to sell my shares. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you throw me a like. If you want to support this channel, I have a link to my Patreon in the description below, or you can click on the join button right below this video. And lastly, I have a podcast series on this channel, which you can also find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.